Hello everyone, welcome to the first PUC online learning of the Gopalswamy PU College, Mysore. I am Suma, Economics lecturer. In today's session of the first PUC online learning of the part A, that is Statistics for Economics, let us learn about the partition values. In the previous session, you all learnt about the partition value, that is quartile. So, as you all know, there are three partition values. Actually, as you all know, there are four partition values. The median is the partition value which divides the series into equal half. So, about median you have all learnt in the previous session, and in today's session let us learn about the rest of the three partition values. The first one is quartile, and about this quartile also we learnt about it in the previous session. The second one is deciles, and the third one is the percentiles. What is a quartile? You all know that quartile is one measure which divides a series into four equal parts. So, quartile is that measure which divides the series into four equal parts. Quartile is one which divides the series into four equal parts, that is Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Q2 is median. Now let us see what are deciles. Deciles are the measures which divide a series into 10 equal parts. Decile is a word which is derived from decade. So, decade is a period of 10 years. Deciles are the measures that divide a series into 10 equal parts, and for any series there are 9 deciles which starts from D1, D2 to D9. And now let us learn about percentiles. So, what is a percentile? Percentiles are the measures which divide a series into 100 equal parts. Percentage means 100. So, it is one for any series there are 99 percentiles which starts from P1, P2, P3, P4, P12, P18, P24, P19, P28 like this. It goes on till P99. So, these are the partition values that we are learning in today's session. So, now let us move towards the formulas related to the calculation of these partition values. Now, let us learn about the formulas for the calculation of these quartiles, deciles and percentiles. You all know that in a series there are four quartiles, that is Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Q2 is the median, and you all know that Q2 is one which is equivalent to median which divides a series into two equal parts. So, now let us see about the Q1. Q1 formula is size of n plus 1 divided by fourth item. So, for individual and discrete series the formulas are written here, and for continuous series we have to calculate the value once, and we have to calculate the answer with two formulas. The first formula is written here and the second formula is written there. So, both these formulas apply to only continuous series. So, for the individual series Q1 is size of n plus 1 divided by fourth item. So, Q3 is size of 3 multiplied by n plus 1 by fourth item. D1, that is decile 1, is size of n plus 1 divided by 10, because it is a decile we have mentioned here 10. So, n plus 1 divided by 10th item, and D9. So, for any number D7, D6, D8 we should write that particular number here. So, it is here D9. So, size of 9 multiplied by n plus 1 divided by 10th item, and then for P1, that is percentile 1, size of n plus 1 divided by 100th item. So, you can observe that for all the Q1, D1 and P1 we divide it by Q1, if it is Q1 4, if it is D1 it is 10, and if it is P1 we are dividing it by 100. So, likewise for P99, size of 99 multiplied by n plus 1 divided by 100th item. And here this is a common formula for all the problems. Before we move towards the calculation of the Q1, Q3, D1, D9, P1, P99 or any of the quartiles, deciles and percentiles, first we should go through this formula, and for the answer we obtain through these formulas, we should calculate the further answer. So for the continuous series, Q1 is size of n by 4th item. Here we are not adding n plus 1. Here we are not adding plus 1. So it is only n by 4th item, and Q3 is the size of 3n by 4th item, D1 is the size of n by 10th item, and D9 is size of 9n by 10th item. P1 is the size of n by 100th item, and P99 is the size of 99n by 100th item. So after we calculate this, after arranging the series, after obtaining the cumulative frequencies, so after we obtain the answer out of these formulas, then we should move towards the knowing of the continuous series. So the lower limit of the frequency of which we obtained the answer through this formula becomes L1. So for Q1, L1 plus n by 4 minus Cf divided by f into I. I is the class interval, that is the time, that is the gap between the two classes, upper limit and the lower limit of a class. Then Q3 is L1 plus 3n by 4 minus Cf upon f into I. The next one is D1 equals L1 plus n by 10 minus Cf. Cf is the cumulative frequency of the frequency of which we obtained this answer. So n divided by n by 10 minus Cf upon f into I. So D9 is L1 plus 9n by 10 minus Cf upon f into I. The next one is P1. So P1 is L1 plus n by 100 minus Cf upon f into I, that is the class interval. And then the last one is P99, that is L1 plus 99n by 100 minus Cf divided by f into I. These are the very important formula that you should be knowing. So better take a photo of this and you have to write these formulas in a book, and then with the help of these formulas you can calculate the answers. So for any number between D1 to D9 the same formula applies, and for any number between P1 to P99 same formulas apply. Now let us calculate these for an individual series. So individual series, as you all know, there will be only frequencies and there will be no class. So for individual series, now let us calculate the Q1, D6 and P82. So in this problem they have asked us to calculate the Q1, D6 and P82 for the following data. So they have given a set of numbers. Totally there are 10 numbers, but they are not in any of the order, either ascending or the descending. So the very first step of the answer is that we should arrange it in an ascending order. So when we arrange the same data in the ascending order, we obtain this 50, 56, 65, 75, 75, 80, 82, 90, 120 and 130. So the total numbers are 10 and therefore n value is also 10. Now let us calculate the Q1. Since they have asked Q1, for Q1 formula is n plus 1 divided by 4th item. So n is 10. 10 plus 1 divided by 4, that is 11 divided by 4 is 2.75. So 2 is written here, second item plus 0.75. So for calculating this 0.75, we should take the third item minus second item, since we have got a decimal value here. So 56 plus 0.75 multiplied by 65, that is the third item is 65 and the second item is 56. So 56 plus 0.75 multiplied by 9. 9 is the difference between 65 and 56. So 56 plus 0.75 multiplied by 9 is 6.75. So 56 plus 6.75 is 62.75 and therefore Q1 is 62.75. Now let us see about D6, that is decile 6th decile. So the formula is 6 multiplied by n plus 1 divided by 10th item. 6 into n plus 1, that is 10 plus 1, that is 10 is the number of items and 10 plus 1 divided by 10. So 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 into 6 is 66 by 10. So 6th item, that is 66 by 10 is 6.75. 0.6. So again sixth item plus 0.6 and multiplied it by and we multiply it with the seventh item minus sixth item. So the seventh item is 82 minus the sixth item is 80. Sixth number is 80. So 80 is the sixth number plus 0.6 multiplied by the difference of 82 and 80. So the difference between 82 and 80 is 2. So 0.6 into 2 is 1.2. So the answer is 81.2. So the value of sixth decile is 81.2. So now let's see the P82. So percentile 82 or 82nd percentile. Formula is 82 multiplied by n plus 1 by 100th item. Since it is a percentile, we divide it by 100. So 82 into 10 plus 1 divided by 100. So 82 into 11 divided by 100. It comes to 9.0 second item. So 9th item plus 0.2 multiplied by 10th item and 9th item's difference. So the 10th value is 130 minus the 9th value is 120. So 120 is the value of 9. So 120 plus 0.2 that we obtained in the answer multiplied by the difference of 10th item and 9th item. So the 10th item and 9th item difference is 10. So 120 plus 0.2 into 10, the difference value. So 120.02 is the answer for the 82nd percentile. I wish to end up today's session with a thought for the day, and today's thought is, there is no better tomorrow if we do not make the best of today. So there is no better tomorrow if we do not make the best of today. So this is a popular thought. Everywhere the people say that we have to do the work. Whatever is to be done by tomorrow, we should do it today, and whatever that should be done by today should be done by now itself. So it says that we should not adopt the attitude of procrastinating, because the attitude of delaying the things will mislead us only, and we cannot achieve the goal. There is no, people think of that everything they will think of doing on the another day, so they postpone the things. Particularly the students, if they go on postponing their learning, then it becomes a very big burden for them only to study at the end. So therefore, there is no better tomorrow if we do not make the best of today. So we should make the best use of today. So don't waste the time. Make use of that available time. With the using of the available time, you can achieve your goals. So lots of time is available to everyone in a day. So that time should be managed properly, and they should allocate the time according to the availability of the time. The people should allocate it and make the maximum use of it. So this is a very good thought, particularly useful for the students. With this, I conclude today's session. Thank you.